The moment you've all been waiting for is here. Conference play, Arizona State and Baylor. We're talking about it in 30 seconds. Game day and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Of course, we're coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Also, the show today presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri. I'll be your waiter this evening. The only thing on the menu is barbecue bear. Ain't that right, Deli Man?
That sounds gamey.
Well, it is. It is gamey, but it's a good kind of gamey. That's right. The Deli Man is behind the Mac. No Rubus today, but it's all good. The show must go on. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Want to start off the pregame show with a little bit of a roll call from our YouTube subscribers and members specifically here. Go ahead and throw up those forks up emojis that only you guys have access to. I see David's here in the chat alongside Ben. We got Scott here. Don't worry, Scott. In the next half hour, we're going to ease those nerves. And if you're a Devil fan, well, guess what? Satan is here saying, run the ball, run the ball, run the damn ball. We'll see if Marcus Arroyo can hear you all the way in Waco. We've got our SPAR keys to victory that we're going to get to. We've got our PHNX factor, and we have got our predictions that we're going to revisit before we actually get to kickoff. But before we get to all of that amazing stuff here in the next half hour on the pregame show, Shane, I got to say something, man. This is a big game. Yeah. This is what I think a lot of Arizona State fans are saying is a must-win right now in Week 4, opening conference play on the road against the Baylor Bears. And while there still is a ton of games left this season, and regardless of the result, they're still going to play games, this is a must-win game. This is a game for Arizona State to make a statement. Because I said it on Friday. Everybody's talking about Utah and Texas Tech and all of those other schools, Iowa State, not acknowledging that Arizona State still remains the reigning Big 12 champions. But at the end of the day, throw it away, man. The season starts now. All of the non-con, the Mississippi State L, the NAU win, the Texas State, that was the preseason for this team. That was the preseason for this conference. Now you have an opportunity to go on the road against a tough team with a really good quarterback, go to their house and make a statement. The statement is the Big 12 still runs through the Arizona State Sun Devils. That's the statement that needs to be put out there today. I know Texas Tech is going to get all their love for what went down against Utah today, and we can visit that maybe a little bit later on in the postgame show, whatever. But this is a game where Arizona State needs to show the Big 12 and the nation that identity that they had in 2024, which is we are going to out-tough you. We are going to be the most physical team for 4 quarters, and at the end of the day, we're going to let our stars be stars and make those types of plays. This is a game where I don't care how it goes down. I don't care if we're talking at the end of it, it was a little sloppy here or there. At this point, everybody, in theory, outside of UCF taking care of business against North Carolina, is playing real competition. You're playing a team that has the second best aerial attack in the country. How are you going to answer that call after a few weeks ago got torched by Blake Shapen? Right? Same thing on the other side of the ball for Sam Leavitt. Nobody's talking about Sam Leavitt anymore as being a Heisman contender, as being one of the best quarterbacks in this conference. What better way to spark up that narrative than leaving Waco with a big-time dub over a guy in Sawyer Robertson who has, up to this point in the season, Shane, been the best quarterback in the Big 12, right?
Yeah, I would say yes. There's the questions of maybe Devin Dampier, but after today, no. There's the questions maybe Baron Morton. He didn't even finish that game.
Nah, Will Hammond, man.
Yeah. And then there's your questions of Josh Hoover, who, by the way, TCU. What are we doing on the last? What are we doing?
I don't know.
They wanted to kill him.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think without a doubt, Sawyer has been the most consistent quarterback in the Big 12 in the conference. So it's fair to say that. It's also fair to say that this is the best offense in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair, especially when you look at just the numbers, right? Sawyer Robertson at quarterback. You've got Bryson Washington at running back, who does lead the conference or led the conference going into this week in rush yards. We know the stat, right? Ralik's number 2 with 31 less carries. We'll see what the ground game looks like for Kenny Dillingham's Sun Devils. I expect a lot from that trio, whether it be Kanye, Ralik, maybe the return of Kyson as well. Looks good to go from what we saw in pregame warmups from all of the media over in Waco. But regardless, right, we do our positional rankings, our breakdowns every Friday. And I want to throw those up on the screen one time because the Baylor fan base caught wind of this. And they had issue with one specific thing on this list. It wasn't the running backs. It wasn't the run defense. It wasn't the coaching or special teams. The Baylor Bear fan base took a special interest in the fact that I gave the edge in this matchup to the pass catchers. Now, the reason that I gave the edge to the pass catchers for Arizona State brings us perfectly into the X factor for today's game. And that is none other than the best wide receiver in this damn conference, maybe the best receiver in this damn country, and that is that guy right there, number 0, Jordyn Tyson. I don't know about you, but more often than not, the team that has the best players tends to win the ball game. And Arizona State has the best player, not just in this game, but the best player in this conference, bar none, and you need to see it. You need to see Jordyn Tyson feast today. I said earlier in the week I wouldn't be shocked if JT put together one of the single best receiving games in Arizona State history against this Baylor defense. Now, I know everybody wants to see the other guys. Everybody wants to see tight end Shimon Mateer get in the game. Everybody wants to see somebody not named Jordyn Tyson feast on the perimeter. Is it going to be Jaron Hamilton? Does Malik McClain finally get his game with Eric Ruby not on the program today? What happens? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. That guy right there needs to go for a game.
Me?
Yes, Shane, you need to go off?
Oh, no.
What? You need to go off or what?
You said that guy.
That guy
needs to, right when I popped on screen, so I was worried
that
I
guy,
had to run routes
the deli
today.
man,
And
needs to go off today,
I'm not ready
man.
to run routes today. It would be so fitting that Malik McClain would have a good game today.
Yeah, with Ruby not here. 100%. Absolutely, man. Like, it would make 100% like sense. And even at the end of this, right, if you see 2 catches, 3 catches, 4 catches from some of those other wide receivers just to take a little bit of the pressure off JT, I think that will help.
That's all we're asking.
But still, man, I think this Baylor secondary is bad enough to let Jordyn Tyson, or excuse me, let me flip it. I think Jordyn Tyson is good enough to torch any secondary in this conference. And why not start off on the road? Let the folks in Waco know you're the best in the game right now, right? Go for 15 catches, 2 touchdowns, and $150, man, because they'll let you. If this game turns into a shootout, who are you taking, Arizona State fans? I'm serious, because I've seen a lot of folks say, I don't know, right? I'm going to lean Baylor, right? They haven't lost. We didn't look good against the Mississippi State game. Throw away everything you think you know about Arizona State, right? They're 2-1 right now. And even that doesn't matter. They could be 0-3 right now. They could be 3-0. At the end of the day, you want to reach the Big 12 championship game? You want to go back to Dallas? It starts here. You got to run the table in conference play, right? All these teams control their own destiny. Jordyn Tyson, for me, is the X factor in this game. It's hard to say he's not going to be the X factor in a lot of games for ASU because he is that damn good. Do you have Any other X factor that you're looking at, Shane, in this matchup?
Not Sam Leavitt, but Sam Leavitt being a quarterback on the road. Because what's his record at Arizona State when he's on the road?
Not good. I think it is what? I don't know if he's ever won on the road. Oh no, he's won on the road. I'm thinking what's it called?
He's lost 2 games on the road.
He's lost 2 games on the road.
Only one technically because it was Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, he didn't play on the. Yeah, he didn't play in that game.
So we need to see it against the.
Or he's 0-2 on the road. He's lost Mississippi State.
Yeah, there you go. So you need to see it.
Yeah.
From your star quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that's 100% fair. It's a stat that I don't know if a lot of people really get into based on like
we're missing road games because Kansas State last year. There's a lot,
but they won that game
regardless. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He won that game on the road.
Yeah, the only game. This is a better way to put it.
Yes.
The only games that Sam Leavitt has ever lost have been on the road at Arizona State or at a neutral site, obviously, in that matchup against Texas in the college football playoff. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Sam Leavitt and JT, in and of them, like, just that duo, right? Like, again, it goes back to the Baylor fans having issues with me saying the pass catchers for Arizona State. Again, I'm taking the best dude on the field in the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
And even then, I know they haven't put up numbers. Sam hasn't necessarily thrown it to him. I'm still taking Jaron Hamilton. Like, I've got a feeling they're going to connect on one of those deep balls today, which would be absolutely awesome to see if Jaron could take the top off, especially when you're missing Jalen Moss. Again, I know everybody wants to run the football, and we'll get to the keys to victory here in just a little bit, which I think running the football will be big. But at the end of the day, like, we can't be naive to the fact that odds are this matchup is going to come down to the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to come down to Sawyer Robertson, and it's going to come down to Sam Leavitt. And I think, in all honesty, Shane, like, I think Sam Leavitt's legs might be the difference here.
Yeah. That's going to be a huge thing, because that's what everyone's been talking about this week is Sam's legs exploiting this Baylor defense, because they've showed they cannot control rushing quarterbacks this year. And so you hope that's a big X factor of this game. Here's a surprise X factor. How far Arizona State can return an interception, because they're going to get one today. Flip the field on it. Take one back. You're going to get at least one. You can clip this. It's happening. It has to. Sawyer's, as I said on whatever show that was, Friday or Wednesday's show, Sawyer's going to give you opportunities to pick off a pass. You just have to take them. And if you take them, you got to take them house.
Yeah, 150%. Look, that does lead us into our SPAR keys to victory for Kenny Dillingham and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Starting off with that first key, Shane, I'm going with limiting possessions. You got to shorten this game if you're Arizona State. I think, obviously, running the football is going to help Arizona State's push to try and limit those positions. You got to control the clock, control the pace. Obviously, everybody wants his team to start out hot. I don't think anything would be better than Arizona State starting off this one with maybe a 6, 7, 8 minute long 80-yard drive that ends in a touchdown. That would be the perfect way to quiet down this crowd. But overall, just limiting the possessions in this game, knowing that Baylor's offense likes to throw it around the yard. If you can minimize the opportunities that Sawyer Robertson has on the field today, Shane, I think it'll be a hell of a game for the Devils.
Yep, 100%. If again, like I've been on record saying this, I think this game goes under. The total's like damn near 60 points, and I think that because ASU is going to control the ball, I think Kenny has definitely had conversations where, hey guys, we need to win the time of possession battle in this game.
Mm-hmm.
We have to. Big shot play is great, but like win the time of possession battle. Because if you do that, one, you suck all the life out of an opposing stadium. Like, there is nothing more demoralizing as a fan in person than seeing your team's ass get kicked down the field for 14 plays in 7 minutes.
While an opposing offense just has to sit on the bench and cool off, right? Like,
exactly.
you figure that's something that I don't think a lot of fans necessarily think about when we're watching games is, like, especially if a team comes out hot, right? Arizona State does take a 8-9 minute drive to start this thing off. Sawyer Robertson and all these guys for Baylor are warming up, right? They're warming up pregame. They're getting ready. They're amped up. They've got the energy. The stadium's juiced. And they have to sit on the bench for 8-9 minutes and really just continue to think about it and see what Arizona State's offense does. That definitely will hurt Baylor's offense if Arizona State can't put together an early drive and just put drives together through and through. And I think something that's going to help them, Shane, is winning that battle in the trenches. That is key number 2 to an Arizona State victory. This is a team in Arizona State that hasn't necessarily won the battle in the trenches when it comes to pass pro, but they have been spanking opposing defensive fronts when it comes to running the football. You need to see it in both pass pro and running the football. And then on the flip side, defensively, we've brought it up, right? Bryson Washington, Baylor running back, led the conference going into week 4 in rush yards. You need to limit what Bryson Washington is able to do on the ground today, control the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. It's coach speak. It's a cliche, but that's where you win the football game, Shane.
Yeah, 100%. And there's nothing more exciting to a Texas football fan than winning the trenches. This game's also big for recruiting.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Good point.
They have more recruits in Texas than any Big 12 team, right? You can continue to win that battle by kicking ass in the trenches and being that dominant force that you think both sides of the defensive line can be. We've seen that defensive line be pretty good this year, especially on the run. The offensive line is still yet to be seen. I think even more so important than dominance on defense in the trenches is offense, because once you get the point of attack moving in the run game, I mean, we've seen what really can do with 5 yards of untouched running space. It's scary.
What better way to do it, what better time to do it than this Big 12 opener against a Baylor team similar to ASU, knocking on the door of the AP Top 25. Our final key to victory, our SPAR keys for Arizona State. This one is a message to Kenny Dillingham and Marcus Arroyo. Stay aggressive. Shane, you had brought this up in a sense on Friday's show when you were talking about your score predictions, that you just have the Sun Devils scoring touchdowns in this one. And it made me think, you got to be aggressive here. You're going to win this football game with touchdowns. I get it. There are fans that don't like Brian Ward sending the house on 3rd and long. Stay aggressive. That's what this team did so well in 2024. I know the fan base and the team has been bit in the ass a couple times, especially more recently, right? Looking at that Mississippi State game. But that's what got this team so red hot at times, was being able to take advantage of 4th and 1s, of 4th and 2s, taking those shot plays. And then on defense, we trust our guys in coverage. We're going to go give the front 7 a little extra help and go get Sawyer Robertson. Make sure he is thrown off platform. Make sure the timing between Sawyer and his pass catchers is off. I think that is another way that Arizona State can win this game, is by staying hyper aggressive really through all 4 quarters. And we know Kenny and company, I mean, they are the definition of aggressive.
Yeah. Going into a hostile environment like this in an offense that's so potent, you have to value every possession, and you can't just settle for points. If you're down at the 20-yard line, it's 4th and 2. Look at what you got out there.
Yeah,
like go deep in your bag. It's conference play. Every game is a must-win at this point.
100%, 150%. I see people in the chat asking for some injury updates heading into kickoff. Zach Swanson warming up. Zyrus Fiaseu was upgraded to probable a couple days ago on the Big 12 injury report. I know that Zyrus, Zach, and Canyon Floyd were all listed as game time decisions. Shane, for you, out of those 3, which one would you say is the most important that the Sun Devils get out there today?
I would say Zyrus, just from a pure run stopping ability. Plus, he's been pretty damn good in coverage.
Yeah.
And we covered this ad nauseum this week. Sawyer Robertson is not good against zone coverage, and Zyrus is a scary linebacker that can drop back into coverage while also being very good in the run game. Having him would be really important. You talk about housing something. We've seen him house. We've seen him house something before.
I think especially, either of those guys defensively, right, is going to be massive, considering you are going to be without Xavier Alford and Montana Warren, who have been ruled out for this game against Baylor. So definitely a hit to this Arizona State secondary. I know Shane and I have faith in Boogie Wilson on the back end replacing Xavier Alford. Interested to see what Kendrick Breedlove does. Really not having to rotate too much today at that nickel corner spot. But I think for me, another big one that you obviously need out there, you'd love to get all of them out there, but Canyon Floyd in terms of special teams. If Arizona State does find themselves in positions where they do need to flip the field, I've got a lot of faith in Canyon Floyd's leg here. Obviously, you don't want to push it if his leg and his quad and all that stuff aren't necessarily feeling up to it. Arizona State does have another punter that they can go to in McKenzie. But at the end of the day, Canyon Floyd is the guy that you'd like to ride with there. So we'll see. Obviously, kickoff in just about 10 minutes. We will have a PHNX Sun Devils watch along right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, you hit the like button for this pregame show, and wherever you get your podcast, make sure you drop a 5-star review as well. I do want to get back to our predictions that we dropped on Friday's show for everybody. I'd love if everybody could drop their score predictions in the chat here. What you think is going to take place in Waco here in just about 10 to 15 minutes. Shane, you're riding with the Devils, man. 28-24, 4 touchdowns for Dillingham and the boys.
Yep, said it on Friday's show, man. You got to be aggressive, and as I said, Dilly's going to try to bleed that clock. I don't think people are going to look at this total and be like, "Whoa, 52 points! Like that seems a little low, especially what everyone's projecting." But as I said, like I don't think there's going to be enough possessions for them to score that much.
I think that's fair. BC's got 34-20. Satan and Satin has 28-24. And I've got the Devils winning this one off the leg of Jesus Gomez as time expires. Give me 38-35 for Arizona State. I think this team is going to look different. This moment in time right here, 8 minutes before kickoff between Arizona State and Baylor. Really think about it. Really just acknowledge and soak in the fact that this is an Arizona State team that this isn't their first go-round anymore in this conference. They're not going to be surprised by the environment. They're not going to be surprised by the talent that the opposition has on offense. This is a team in Arizona State that as it stands right now, I want to say has won 6 or 7 consecutive games in this conference, right? And I know that's from last season. You could say what you want about momentum, whatever. Dilly and company have found a way, and they did last year, to string together big wins, whether they were blowouts like you got against Oklahoma State or Iowa State in 2024. They found ways to win close games like they did against Kansas and UCF last year without some of their best players, right? Scat didn't play in one of those games. And now you have an opportunity, as healthy as you possibly can be right now, obviously minus some pieces on that back end of the defense, going on the road, taking care of business. You know what this moment is. And I know Dilly and all those coaches, they don't talk about, the implications that this has on the overarching season goals, right? It's just take care of business today, be the best football player you can be today here in 2025. I think you get an Arizona State team that you have been begging to see for the first 3 weeks of the season. And I don't know a better way to re-energize this fan base ahead of a big matchup back at home next Friday against Josh Hoover and TCU than to be on the road and take care of business the way Texas Tech did against Utah. I don't care what time they kick off. I don't care if they're home, away. When that whistle blows, everything you think you know is out the window, and it's just 11 on 11, our dogs versus your dogs. Who's bigger? Who's stronger? Who wants it more? I'm riding with the Devils on this one. Look, like I said, we're going to have our PHNX Sun Devils watch along, so definitely open another tab. That stream is already made, right, Shane?
Get in there, drop a PHNX forks up if you are a member and a supporter. And yeah, let's get after it.
Open that tab, man.
Real quick, one thing that we haven't mentioned this entire week, I'm going to put it out there in the universe. Kyson Brown.
Sip. He's back. Let's see what he does, man. I'm amped. I'm juiced. I'm ready for kickoff, guys. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. That's going to do it for the PHNX Sun Devils pregame show. We'll see you for a watch along here in about 5 to 10 minutes. And then, of course, come on, we got a PHNX Sun Devils post-game party at the end of the day. It's going to be a blast. If you enjoyed this pregame show and you want to follow along with everything that we got going on, all of your Arizona State news and info and fun, give the show a follow at PHNX _signups. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Dief.
Donald and Short Bus, I will drop the link in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. It's the first thing you'll see to become a supporter, to get those fire emojis.
And we will see you guys on a PHNX Sun Devils watch along here in a second. In the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.